We took an Ancestry DNA test.
And I'm pretty nervous for the results. Having been born and raised in the United States with heritage from Mexico, we're super curious about our ancestry. We're Jenny and Kevin, both originally from Chicago, born and raised. And both of our parents migrated to the United States from Mexico before we were born. And while we know a lot about where our parents are from, we spent the last 2 years traveling throughout Mexico, exploring our connection to our roots, exploring our parents' hometowns.
And the more we learn about our parents' hometowns, sparked this curiosity to take this DNA test. If you haven't seen our videos on our family roots, we have some awesome videos for y'all that y'all can check up in the link up here. One of them is where Jenny explores her roots through her mom's side, visiting Zacatecas. And another is on my dad's side in San Luis Potosí. We have still yet to do one in Veracruz, where my mom's roots are from, but
that'll be coming up soon, so keep an eye out for that. It's time to do the DNA test. Prior to doing the spitting in the tube part, you're supposed to go online to activate your kit and make sure we have the right one. I have the one with my name on it. This one should be yours. And so now that we've activated it, we can take everything out and start spitting. I feel nervous.
Oof, sweating.
Like, it's not like I don't know what the results are gonna be.
Well, you don't,
But at the same time, I know that there were some. This is so sensitive because this is particularly sensitive for me because there have been different opinions on my parentage, on who my father is. I don't have a doubt. My mom doesn't have a doubt. There are others who doubt, and then sometimes they plant a little seed of doubt in your head. But that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I'm genuinely curious in the ancestry part. And specifically because I didn't have a great relationship with my father. I am curious to learn more about lineage from his side. So that's more so why I'm nervous than anything else. Mm-hmm.
Understandable. Excited.
Okay, I'm excited. Let's get spitting.
We just spit.
Just so we spit up to this line here. The bubbles don't count.
Alright.
This is so weird. You guys don't need to see this.
Just cap it.
Yeah. It says to seal it tightly so that this blue liquid goes in. Okay, now we shake for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2,
5. Oh.
We're currently in Colombia, but Kevin's flying to the US for work, and he's gonna be mailing it for us from there. Thank you, sir, for your service. And that's it. Ready. Now we wait 6 weeks for the results.
Now I'm nervous.
The reason we're so interested in our roots and our heritage is because it's a big part of who we are. It informs not only how people see us, it's how we see the world, what our values, our family values, things like that. And it's part of the reason that we decided to move back to Mexico. And I put that in quotations because we had never lived in Mexico prior to the last couple of years. And actually right now we're in Colombia, but more about that later. Our Mexican heritage is super important to us. But what about before that? Like, do we have indigenous blood? Do we have Spanish or European blood? What do you guys think?
I mean, right now we're a little tan because we've had sun for a couple of years.
Yeah, in the winters in Chicago, we got barely any sun, so I would be what I consider to be pretty pale. Kevin was definitely not this beautiful shade of brown. But depending on how much sun we get, our skin complexion changes.
One big reason for me wanting to take the DNA test as well is because of my last name, which is Frausto. I've had so many different theories from my family members and looked it up on Google, and there's so many different theories to where the name comes from. It says from Portugal. It also says that it's from the indigenous community, the Apache community. So I'm kind of curious. I hope that this DNA test might give me some of those answers that I've been wanting to know so much about my last name and my background. I have this hope that I will be able to find this connection with my last name to the indigenous communities, whether it's in Mexico, the United States, or somewhere above and beyond.
And I'm also really curious about my genetic heritage because I often get questions and comments about my appearance. For example, I get asked often if I'm Asian. I have almond-shaped eyes and a very like olive-toned skin. And I'm asked if I'm Filipina. I wonder if perhaps maybe in my Mexican lineage, maybe there were Asian immigrants to Mexico because there's a brief history of that. So I wonder if maybe I am a descendant of those immigrants. I don't know. But I've always wondered why I look so different from even my own siblings. You mentioned about your last name, and as far as I understand, I don't have the last name of my biological father. Neither does my biological father have the last name of his biological father. So it sounds like something out of a novela. And by the way, my mom's totally okay with me doing this test. But it's a bit of a complicated story. So long story short, I'm not super hung up on the name. I just want to know about my blood.
I'm excited to know too because on my mom's side, she's very light-skinned, blue eyes. She also doesn't really know who her biological father is. So hey, we might find out some really cool things today, and I'm so nervous.
What about your dad?
My dad, I think that my dad's side is indigenous, and I look forward to seeing what kind of mix of indigenous people it is. From San Luis Potosí, I believe it's close to the Otomí, also the Huasteca. From Veracruz, it would be the Olmecas, the Totonacas, but the truth is that my family's not originally from Veracruz. They're actually more from the center of Mexico, which makes things even more interesting.
Yeah, and before that, didn't your grandma or your great-grandma tell you about something else?
That's right. My great-grandmother used to say that her great-grandparents used to travel from Spain to Mexico. So it's interesting. I'm kind of curious to find all of these things out.
Yeah, cool. And I'm also super curious to learn about whether I received more genetic DNA from my father's side or from my mother's side. You know, that's when they say, oh, you look so much like your mom, you look so much like your dad. I feel like I look like neither of my parents. Honestly, here's a picture of my parents. Like, what do you think? And who do you think Kevin looks more like, his mom or his dad?
I think that's an obvious one.
Before we jump into the results, I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon members for your continued support. Our Patreon members get exclusive content and are our biggest supporters. So if you'd like to join, you're welcome to join us at the link below.
But you don't have to be a Patreon member to support our channel and to help support us. You could actually buy us a coffee or send us a tip through PayPal, or you can give a like, comment, and share this channel with everybody. That would mean the world to us.
And that would help us grow. So thank you all so much in whichever way that you choose to help. All right, so we're going to do Kevin first. You ready? How do you feel?
Nervous, just show me. She's blocking the screen, so I can't see on the screen. We're doing this on our laptop.
This is the authentic reaction. We're going to be seeing these for the first time with you all on this video. Ready? Okay. So your DNA story from Ancestry.com says your ethnicity estimate is...
Wow, 57% indigenous Americas and Mexico, 27% from Spain. It makes me happy. It makes me happy that it's the majority, 57% indigenous, because I feel proud to be brown, I feel proud to be Mexican, and that just shows me, oh wow.
It breaks it down even more.
It breaks it down even more. This is so cool. So it breaks it down to central highlights, northeast Mexico, and southeast Texas, Tejas.
But Texas, Tejas, U.S.
That's a good joke. But shows that a big part of it is from the Bajío, which is San Luis Potosí and Tamaulipas, which is where my dad's area is from. So that's
which
very
means
special.
That your dad's family has been from San Luis for generations.
Yeah, wow. And then it's southern central Mexico. And this other interesting part is the Bajío part, which is Hidalgo and Ciudad de Mexico, which is very close to San Luis Potosí. So that's awesome. That's awesome. It makes me so happy to know, that there's that connection. And
Your
then,
dad, the evidence of your father is right there.
Yeah, it's all there. All right here. 27% is Spain. I don't know if it breaks it down.
It kind of says, 7% Basque.
Oh, 7% Basque. Interesting. That's cool. I mean, there's a big history of Basque
migration
to Mexico.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. 3% is North African. 3% from Scotland. What?
Honey, we're gonna have to get you a skirt and bagpipes.
What?
Watch out.
1% from Senegal.
Cool.
1% from Cameroon, Congo. And 1% Jewish. Interesting. What? Now that's new.
Cool.
Wow, that's awesome. Dang, this makes me really nervous for Jenny because I can't believe I have so many combination of these countries.
Okay, now it's my turn.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Uncover it already. Okay. It says 51% indigenous Americas, Mexico,
What?
28% Spain, and 10 other regions. Okay, let's go in and see the breakdown because then it gives you the ethnic breakdown. Ooh, okay.
Nice. This.
Okay,
confirms.
so this confirms,
This confirms.
that I am an Aztec princess. Kidding. No, this says that of the 51% indigenous Americas, Mexico, it says that I am connected to the ethnic region of Southern Zacatecas. Sí, señor, yo soy de Zacatecas. Yes, very cool. And then it even says, like, more specifically, southeastern Zacatecas, which is where my grandfather is from.
That's
my
really impressive, right?
my mom's father, and I believe what my mom told me about her mother is that my maternal grandmother has lineage from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much other than that, just kind of vague information. She died when I was very young, but I actually interviewed my grandfather's sister, mi tía Manuela, in San Lorenzo, Zacatecas, and I remember asking her if we had any connection to any indigenous communities from Zacatecas. She laughed and she's like, no. I'm like, okay, well then where were you all from? She's like, we've always been from here, but I'm like, okay, maybe she didn't know. Or I don't know. And then it says 28% Spain, and then 7% Basque. That one's interesting because of my father's side.
Right.
And I'll talk about that in a moment. Let me finish reading through these. 3% Portugal.
Você fala português?
Eu falo português. Northern Africa, 2%. France, 2%. And Wales, 2%. That makes sense because my name is Welsh. Jennifer is a Welsh name. I Googled that once. 1% Senegal, 1% Nigeria, East Central Cameroon, Congo, Aegean Islands, and 1% England, Northwestern Europe.
That's really, really cool. It's like 1% Greek, Turkish.
I think so. Oh, is that what Aegean Islands is?
So,
Greek
yeah.
and Turkish?
So how do you feel about these results? Is it what you expected, or what did you think? I mean, it's so hard to expect something, right? But
I mean, I think it's really cool that the Zacatecas specific region showed up, because I was wondering whether my family had migrated. You know, migration has been a part of the human experience, and maybe that's what those other ones are. But it's really cool to see that connection there. And hold on, and then you go down here, and then it breaks it down by parents, the regions you inherited from each parent.
So you can see one parent has more.
Okay, look, check this out. So of the 51% indigenous DNA that I have, 32% of that I got from one parent, and 19% of that I got from the other parent. And the only region that came up in the indigenous DNA was Zacatecas.
That's really interesting.
That's interesting because, as far as I know, only my mom's side of the family is from Zacatecas. as far as I know, my dad doesn't have lineage from Zacatecas yet, but although I don't know a lot about his mother's side. According to this, the way I interpret this, tell me what you think or what you guys think. This looks like it says that my biological father has genetic roots in Zacatecas as well, right? That's what I'm seeing here. That's making me think twice because let me circle back. When I was spitting in the test tube, I was really nervous, and I'm still pretty nervous because this is a very sensitive topic for me. I mentioned that there are people in my life who doubted my paternity. The truth is, I'm a love child. My mom was married when she fell in love with my father. It was a very complicated situation. Adults do adult things, and whatever. I just was the baby in the middle of a love triangle. But the crazy thing is that because my mom was still married when I was born, her ex-husband signed my birth certificate knowing that I was not his biological child. And so then my mom, got with my father, had my sisters, and we lived with him until I was a preteen. So I did know him. I just didn't have a very good relationship with him, and neither did he have a good relationship with his parents. Because, as luck would have it, as fate would have it, what happened to me, the exact same thing had actually happened to my father. So when he was born, his mother was married to someone who was not his biological father, and he was given the last name of that husband. And so, it's a mess. If it sounds messy, it's because it is a mess, and it's just crazy to me how history repeated itself. So had things gone the way they were supposed to, my last name would be Covarrubias. And then, as far as I know, that's somewhere in the northern part of Spain. I think maybe close to the Basque country, and I'm guessing that's where I'm getting that 7% Basque. So that's my paternal grandfather. He was Covarrubias. He passed away recently as well. And I'm nervous because I don't blame anyone for their choices. Whatever happened. And my mom's actually always encouraged me to take a DNA test because she's always said, if you don't believe me, take a test. And I go, it's not about that. I've never really cared to know the quote unquote the truth about my biological father because I've never had a good relationship with a father figure. So it was unimportant to me. But now that I see these results, I just find it super fascinating that the indigenous Americas only pointed out Zacatecas. Because from the little that I know about my father's mother's side is that she may have been either from San Luis Potosí or from somewhere else in Mexico. I know she was Mexican as well. Is Mexican. I think she's still alive. But yeah, now I have more questions. And as far as I know, no one else in my family or immediate family has taken this test. I'll have to spend more time to see what kind of matches I got. I haven't done that yet. Maybe if you all are interested in seeing that, I could share that in the next video. Maybe we could build a family tree and uncover the truth. I don't know. I've always believed my mom, and at the end of the day, it's not super important to me because I don't have, and I'm not going to pursue a relationship. As far as I know, my biological father, he's passed away. And when my mom was married to my brother's father, he's still alive, but whatever, there's no relationship there. Okay, I'm rambling, but let me get to the point. Here's the crazy thing. There are 7 of us from my mom. My siblings and I, we all look super different. My 4 brothers from my mom's first marriage, 2 of them have colored eyes, blue and green eyes, but then my youngest sister also has a hazel eyes. So that's all probably most likely from my maternal grandmothers, my mom's mom. And then here I am, probably have more indigenous DNA than my sisters do, whom I always believe and still believe that we share both parents. I don't know.
Oh my God! Now it's
now I need my siblings to get this test.
Eat Bala Travel reality TV.
Wow, this is crazy.
This is crazy. Whew. Now we gotta get our parents to do this.
Yep.
Let us know what you think. Especially, would you do a DNA test like this, or have you done one and have you been like
surprised,
shocked,
or
like what you found out about your DNA? Let us know in the comments down below. We're super curious to hear everybody's stories, everybody's backgrounds as well.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already to follow us on this journey. There's a whole lot more to discover. We're in Colombia for a few months, but we're going to be back in Mexico soon to continue that journey. Se cuidan, se bañan y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao.